ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। So we were looking at the 20th vakya of the fifth brahmana of the first chapter. This brahmana is called Saptanna Brahmanam. And here the upasana on this Saptanna is talked about. What are the seven annas or seven foods? It is described, and amongst them again there is a certain categorization is done. Four annas are called sadhana annani and three annas are called sadhya annani. And the sadhya annani, they are discussed now. They are vak, manas and prana. They are called sadhya annani because these three we gain for ourselves based on the other four anna, which are all sadhana or means. We do karma and upasana, and as a result of that we gain the sadhya, which are the vak, manas and prana for ourselves. Again, these vak, manas and prana were talked about at three different levels: adhyatmika, adi bhautika and adi daivika. Then finally we also saw that a person who is doing the pankta upasana, pankta means the karma itself is supposed to have five factors. So one who is doing karma and upasana and one who can become the prajapati, but still there can be some omissions and commissions in whatever that person has done. So that person can do a ritual called samprattihi. Samprattihi we saw, where this person entrusts everything, gives everything to his son, saying, whatever I have studied till now, whatever I have done, whatever karma I have done, and whatever karma phala I have gained, everything I give it to you. Now you complete it, because with reference to studying, of course, I am supposed to study so many things. I may have studied them, I may have missed some of them, I may have even learned wrongly some of them. So both omission and commissions are possible. So this father hands it over to the son, and son completes it for the father. That's why putra is called putra. Like that the Upanishad says, Puranat Trayate, by completing whatever his father has left, and this son saves his father, means what? Makes his father eligible for the loka to become the Prajapati. So Lokahitaha, the son is the Lokahita for the father, and therefore he completes and nourishes or protects his father. So Purana Trayate iti putraha, like that etymology, or you can say an explanation for the word putra is given. Now, having seen all that, we are now looking at the Adi Daivika aspect of the Vag, Manas and Prana. In that we already saw the Adi Daivika aspect of Vak and Manas. Okay, so once this person who has done this Sampratti Karma, and after his son also completes everything, this person becomes the Prajapati. Means what does he gain really? Means he gains this Adi Daivika Vak. Adi Daivika Vak means what? This he becomes the Vak of all the beings. He becomes the speech, organ of speech of all the beings. Similarly, his mind again, he becomes the mind of all the beings. These things we saw already last week. And then prana also. His prana is the one which is now active in all the beings. So because of this, so Prajapati, this Prajapati Upasaka is considered as Prajapati only. And then this person is worshipped by everybody as equivalent to Prajapati. Like this, up to that point we saw. Okay, so Ijyadi Lakshanam Pujam Satatam Prayujyata. So we saw here the Upanishad also here it says Yata Yesha Devata Evam Sa Yata Yetam Devatam Sarvani Bhutani Avanti Evam Ha Evam Vidam Sarvani Bhutani Avanti. So similarly, so similar to Prajapati, see how Prajapati is being worshipped by everybody. Similarly, this person Evam Vidaha means the one who knows this or who has done this upasana, that person also is worshipped by all the beings. Whenever they offer anything, all the offerings are all going to this person also. So always they are worshipping this person also along with the Prajapati. Now here Bhashyakara raises an interesting point that we'll continue with that. Atha idam ashankate. So now thereafter what this particular doubt is raised. What is this doubt? Sarva praninam atma bhavati iti uktam. So this person becomes the atma of all the beings because his vak is adi daivika vak means it pervades all the being speech. His mind is adi daivika mind means his mind pervades all the minds of all the beings. His prana also is adi daivika prana means it pervades all the beings as the life. That means he is now become sarvatma. Now if that person is sarvatma, then what? Tasya cha sarva prani karya karana atmatve. So this person now has the karya karana sanghata of all the beings, correct? Body, mind, sense complex of all the beings is there for this person being the sarvatma. Then what? Sarva prani sukha dukkaihi sambadhyeta iti. So the doubt is what? Then what? This person will become connected with the sukha dukkha of all the people, all the beings. All the beings, dukkha will become this person's dukkha. All the beings, sukha also he will have. Means if he is going to have all the beings dukkha, then why should somebody do all the upasana and karma and do lot of effort to even achieve this Prajapati? Prajapatitvam will become useless, correct? It is a problem, it will become. So like this, a doubt is there. Because he is Sarvatma, won't he have the dukkha of all the beings then? But even when we talk about moksha phalam also, we talk about it as Sarvatmatvam is talked about. Sarvabhutastam atmanam sarvabhutani cha atmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshanaha and all. Gita also is there. Ishavasya Upanishad also talks about the same thing. Yastu sarvani bhutani, like that. Atmaiva bhut, etc. There is Ishavasyam is there. Even here, Brihadaranyaka also 1:4:10 if you take Aham Brahmasmi iti, then the phala for knowing Aham Brahmasmi is what? You become the self of all. Now becoming the self of all is a problem. Then all their dukkha will become your dukkha. So what are you going to do? Means Bhashyakara is now telling you, Tanna, it's not like that. Why? So he's giving a beautiful Bhashya here. So he says, Aparichinna buddhitva. Simple, he says. What is this? This Prajapati does not have parichinna buddhi. Parichinna buddhi means what? Identifying with limited body, mind, sense complex is the parichinna buddhi. All your problems are because you identify with your individuality. Understand that. You think the individuality is yours, then you are taking up all the problems of the individual on yourself and suffering. When there is no individuality, there is no problem, correct? In deep sleep, there is no individuality. Means how much ever problem you may have in waking or dream, once you go to sleep, there is no problem. Therefore, all problems are the problems of the individual. And also because you take that individuality as your individuality, you are identifying with that individuality. That means you have parichinna buddhi, because any identification with individuality is identification with limitations only, correct? As long as you are an individual, you can never get rid of the limitations. And as long as you are limited, you will have problems. In fact, you cannot even accept that limitation. That is what we say, correct? Pujya Swamiji also always says, our problem is one of self non-acceptance. Why is there a self non-acceptance? Because as long as you are looking at yourself as an individual who is limited, because if you are an individual, you are limited from all standpoints. Whichever way you look at yourself, you are limited. You cannot escape that conclusion. Therefore, you will have all the problems of the individual as long as you are identifying with that. But Prajapati, or the one who is the Sarvatma Bhava, the one who has this, does not have any identity with any particular individual body, mind, sense complex. That's why he has Aparichinna Buddhi. The identity is totally different. Everything is based on only identity. In fact, individuality itself comes and goes. Even though it is like that, it is not very easy to see the fact that individuality is a transient thing, correct? Individuality is something transient. It's not intrinsic to me. I am only a conscious being. Individuality has no connection to me, really speaking. Individuality also is evident to me, but that doesn't mean it is real or it is intrinsic to my nature. So individuality has to be seen for what it is. That is also mithya. If you are able to see that and understand that your very nature is ananta, means there is no dukkha, there cannot be any dukkha in fact. So it not only applies to Prajapati, it applies to all mumukshus, all jijnasus also, all the people who are seeking this knowledge has to have this aparichinna buddhi. So here Bhashyakara explains beautifully. So he says, Parichinna Atma Buddhinam hi akroshadau dukkha sambandha drishtaha. So those who have this limited buddhi, Atma Buddhi means what? I am a limited individual, I am a limited self. Those who have identification like that, for them what happens? Akroshado, he says. Akrosha means what? Akrosha means shouting or crying at somebody or even abusing, you can say. Okay. So somebody comes and abuses you, then what? You feel bad. You have dukkha. Okay. So dukkha sambandha is there. Why? Because you identify yourself as one individual who is subjected to abuse. Okay. And then you look upon the other person as the abuser. So one person is the abuser, and you, the other person, the individual, is the abused. So as long as your vision is that there is an abuser who is separate from he who is abused, then you cannot escape from feeling dukkha. You cannot escape dukkha. Okay. So dukkha sambandha will be there. There will be connection with dukkha for you. So how is it? Bhashyakara explains. Anena aham akrushtaha iti. So by this person, I am being abused. Like that, it will be there. This dukkha. Asya tu sarvatmanaha yaha akrushyate यश्च आक्रोशति तयोः आत्मत्व बुद्धि विशेष अभावात् तन्निमित्तं दुःखं न उपपद्यते न तन्निमित्तं दुःखम उपपद्यते. That's what. See, but asya means here this prajapati or the one who has done this upasana, correct? So the one who has identity with sarvatma, for that person what? So asya sarvatmanaha tu means whereas, in comparison to the person who is identifying with an individual body mind sense complex, the one who is identifying with all as the self, for that person what? He doesn't have any identity with the abuser. Okay, yaha akrushyate means here the abused. Akrushyate means the one who is abused. So does not have any identification with the one who is abused, nor with the one who is abusing. Neither the abuser nor the abused. No identity with both of them. Okay, yascha akroshati tayoho. So with both of them, what? Atmatva buddhi vishesha abhavat. There is no atmatva buddhi vishesha. There is no identification as this is myself, either with the abused or with the abuser. Therefore, what? Therefore, na tan nimitam dukkham upapadyate. Therefore, there is no dukkha due to that cause. Due to the abuse itself, there is no dukkha. Because abuser also will have dukkha, correct? Later on, that person will have guilt or even fear. Okay, I abused somebody, that person may retaliate. What will I do? So both these guys have problems. Whether you are the abused or the abuser, you are going to have problems. But since this Sarvatma Bhava, the one who has, does not have any identification with both these things, therefore that person cannot have any dukkha with reference to this abuse itself. Dukkham na upapadyate, dukkha is not there. Similarly, what? Bhashyakara also further doesn't leave only with abuse. Now he goes to marana. Because death is the like the prathama malla nyaya, correct? If you cannot have dukkha for death itself, then you cannot have dukkha for anything else. So this is the same thing. Even Bhagavad Gita also we have seen Kathopanishad and all we see, correct? Killing is taken as the action to even talk about the that Atma is neither Karta Bhokta, Nayam Hanti. All this we have seen, correct? Nayam Hanti na Hanyate. So here Marana Dukkhavaccha Nimitta Bhavat. So even for the one Marana Dukkhavat means what? Marana Dukkhavan, the one who is having dukkha because of some death. Okay, somebody's death. One cannot have dukkha for one's own marana. Okay, after you have died, I don't know whether you really have dukkha or not. Maybe some klesha will still be there. But anyway, so here it is about somebody else's death. Even there is no cause for grieving. Why? Yatahi kasminchit mrite kasyachit dukkam upapadyate. Okay, so when somebody dies, kasminchit mrite means what? Somebody has died and somebody else is now having dukkha. Kasyachit dukkam utpadyate. So dukkha is there. Dukkha is born for somebody because somebody died. Why? Because of thinking like this. Mama asau putraha. Asau mama putraha means what? This person who has died is my son. My son has died. Or brata cha iti, or my brother has died. Like this, you have sambandha, either as son or brother, like that. Some relationship is there, and if that person dies, you have dukkha. So putradi nimittam, because you have this identity that this person is my putra, mama, aham mama, mama. Both identities are there. But what? Tan nimitta abhave, if that is not there, if somebody dies, you don't care. So many people are dying every day in the world. We cannot grieve for all that. So tan nimitta abhave, tan marana darshinaha api naiva dukkam upajayate. So even if you see somebody dying, but if they are not related to you in any way, then you don't feel the same grief, correct? There is no grief. So all grief is because of only identification, wrong identification. So now Bhashyakara says, Tatha Ishwarasyapi Aparichinna Atmanaha Mama Tavatadi Dukkha Nimitta Mithyagnanadi Dosha Abhava. So for Ishvara, here Bhashyakara says this Prajapati is Ishvara only, really. Ishwarasya, what is that? Aparichinna Atmanaha, one who has this identity with the limitless, not with any one particular individual, and also does not have mamata tavata, mine, yours, like that. There is no identity again. And only if you have ideas like mine and yours, you can have dukkha. So those are the dukkha nimitta, and that is not there. And that dukkha nimitta itself is due to what? Because of wrong knowledge, mithya jnanadi dosha abhavat. So Ishvara does not have this mithya jnanam, which itself is a defect. This false knowledge or mithya ajnanadi also you can say. Some people will be very mad at it, I think. But our grammar will allow us to even separate it as mithya ajnanadi dosha abhavat. Also you can say nothing wrong, I think. So here Ishvara does not have any of this mamata tavatadi dukkha nimitta mithya jnanadi dosha. Therefore what? Naiva dukkham upajayate. For this Prajapati or even the Upasaka who has gained this Sarvatma Bhava, there is no dukkha. All the other beings, dukkha will not be the dukkha of this person. Tad etad uchyate. That's what is said by the Upanishad also here. Okay, if you see here, Upanishad also clearly says, Yedu kincha imaha prajaha shochanti. Okay, amaiva asam tad bhavati. Like that. So, whatever these prajas they are they are grieving or they have sorrow, it is theirs only. It is not the one who has, it is not for the one who has this Sarvatma Bhava. It is for only those beings who are identifying themselves as individuals. So that part now Bhashyakara is going to explain. But here Anandagiri also gives a very interesting analogy. Okay. Anandagiri says, even as human beings, so many germs or krimis, he says, are all living in you, correct? So many, Pujya Swamiji also used to say that whole generations of bacteria are living in your body. Therefore, you cannot even claim that your body is really your body because so many people have claims over this body, right? From your mother up to the state also. Okay, whoever has fed you anything, and even all the bacteria and amoebas which are living in your gut, they are living there for generations. They have a claim. And Anandagiri says that this krimi, their problems and all does not become your problem, correct? They are born there, they live there, and they die there. They have their own issues. That is not a problem for the human being in whom all these krimis are living. So that way also he gives another interesting analogy there. So here, therefore, the dukkha of these beings will not be the dukkha of the one who has Sarvatma Bhava. That's what we have to understand. Tadetad uchyate yadu kincha yat kincha. Yadu means that u null is a particle here. Yat kincha imaha prajaha sochanti. All these beings, they grieve. Amaiva saheva prajabhihi tat shokam chokadi nimittam dukkam sanyuktam. So they are all connected with these beings only. This dukkha is there only along connected to and which is there only with those beings only. Okay, asanam, prajanam. Asam means prajanam. Parichinna buddhi janitatva. So because of their own identification with limitations, All their sorrow is their sorrow only. It is only connected to them. It cannot be connected to the one who has the Sarvatma Bhava. So Sarvatmanastu Kena Saha Kim Sanyuktam Bhavet Viyuktam Va. Also Bhashyakara says for the one who has the Sarvatma Bhava, there is no special connection or association or dissociation. Both are not there with reference to anything. Okay. So Asangaha, that is very important. So there cannot be any connection or disconnection also with anybody or any individual because there is no identity at that level. Amum tu prajapatye pade vartamanam punyameva shubhameva phalam abhipretam punyamiti niritishayam hi tena punyam kritam tena tat phalameva gacchati. So once you are having this prajapati pada, the status of being a prajapati, only punya you will get, only the punya phala. That is the next part in the Upanishad here. Punyameva amum gacchati naha vai devan papam gacchati. This is the last part. So Bhashyakara says, because Prajapati has done so much karma and upasana, so here this punya phalam alone he gets for whatever karma and upasana which has been done. There is no papa. Papa phala does not come. Because he has done Niratishayam means something which is very great, you can say. Incomparable level of punya is there. So that punya phala alone goes to this Prajapati. Punyameva, Shubhameva. So punya means here punya phalam. Phalam abhipretam punyamiti. Niratishayam hi tena punyam kritam. So this to become the Prajapati only, this person has already done lot of punya. That's how he became Prajapati. Therefore, what? Tena tat phalameva gacchati. Therefore, only punya phala alone goes to this Prajapati. Naha vai devan papam gacchati. Papa palasya avasara abhava. So there is no chance of getting any papa phala for this person who has done all this karma and upasana and who has gained this status of being the Prajapati. Papa palam dukkham na gacchati ityarthaha. So there is no papa phala or dukkha for the one who has this Sarvatma Bhava. That is made very clear by the Upanishad. Now the next one, Bhashyakara is giving an introduction here. Ta ete sarva eva samaha sarve anantaha. So in 1.5.13, all these three things, Vak, Manas and Prana, were looked upon as same or equivalent, samaha, because they are all limitless. Sarve anantaha, because they pervade, the speech pervades the organ of speech of all the beings. That way it is limitless. The mind, the Adi Daivika mind particularly, pervades the mind of all the beings. The Adi Daivika prana pervades the prana of all the beings. Therefore, they are all equally ananta. That was said. That means what? There is no Vishesha. There is no somebody is more special. Like that, nothing is there. Like that, it was said. So, iti avisheshena vangmana pranana upasana muktam. So, you then do all of them are ananta like that upasana. But what? Na anyatama gataha visheshaha uktaha means then there is no other speciality was talked about each of them. All of them were looked upon as equally limitless, and the upasana also you are supposed to do that way. Now Bhashyakara questions, Kim evameva pratipattavyam. So should we understand it only that much or something more is there? Kim va vicharyamane kaschid visheshaha pratam upasanam prati pratipattum shakyate. So if we further analyze, if we do vichara, is there anything special with reference to doing a vrata? Vrata means you take a resolve or a vow, correct? Or even upasana, you do an upasana. because whenever we do upasana on some upasya, okay, we always praise the upasya. That which is being meditated upon will be praised with some speciality. So you will do the upasana on that characteristic of that particular object of meditation, let us say. So here anything like that is there. Between these three, Vang, Manas and Prana, any specialities we have to take into account when we do a vrata or a upasana. Like that, there is a doubt. And with reference to that, now Upanishad is answering you. What is it saying? Athato vrata mimamsa. So now, thereafter, therefore, what? Vrata mimamsa, we are going to analyze the vrata or a vow or a resolve. And what is this? Further, what? It says, now there is a story. Upanishad is giving a very interesting story here. What is the story? Prajapatirha karmani sasrija. So ha means long back, like that traditionally. Okay. Kila, ha kila, kilartha. Prajapatihi karmani sasrije. He created. Karmani means here actually karanani only. Okay, Bhashyakara gives the meaning later. Even in the context, if we read further, we'll know. So here actually karmani really means karanani, the instruments, the organs like this, organ of speech, eyes, ears, etc. Because they are for the purpose of karma, they are themselves called karma. Okay. So Prajapati created all these organs. Then what? Tani srishtani anyonyena aspardhanta. So these being created, they started competing with each other. Okay. Or quarreling and all, you can say. They started competing with each other. What is the competition? Now Vak says, Vadishyami eva aham iti Vak dadre. So Vag, this Vag Indriya took a vow. Dadre means it has now it has taken a vow that I will be all the time talking. Okay, there are some people like that also. They keep on talking all the time. They can't stop, literally. So Vag Indriya took a vow that my function is to talk. So I'll be talking all the time. Then what? Eyes are not behind. Okay, eyes are saying Drakshyami ahamiti chakshuhu. Eyes are saying I'll always be seeing. That is my vow. Okay. Then ears, Shroshyami ahamiti shrotram. I will be hearing all the time. Like that, the ears. Then what? Evam anyani karmani yatha karma. All other organs, as per their function, they took a vow. I will be doing whatever I am supposed to be doing, whatever is my function. Then what? All these things took, all these organs took a vow like this, and they were doing their karma. Then Mrityu came there slowly. And what did Mrityu do? He overtook all these people, all these organs. Okay. Tani Mrityuhu Shramaha Bhutva Upayeme. So Mrityu came and came in the form of fatigue, it seems, tiredness. Came in the form of fatigue and overtook all these organs. Fatigue. They all became tired. Then what? Tani apnot, Tani aptva Mrityuhu avarundha. So Mrityu now took over all these organs in the form of fatigue, and then he inhibited them. Avarunda means literally inhibiting or controlling, you can say. And therefore what? Tasmat shramyati eva vak, shramyati chakshuhu, shramyati shrotram, atha imameva na apnot yaha ayam madhyamaha pranaha. Therefore what? All these organs, they became tired and they stopped working. Okay, because after you become tired, you cannot, after some time, you cannot keep on talking. You cannot keep on your eyes, you cannot keep it open, correct? At the end of the day, you have to go like this. You have to close your eyes. You will sleep. That is the danger, correct? Many people who have driven at night, we all know. Sometimes your eyes close in spite of all the Red Bull and all that you drink. Sometimes even 2 seconds is enough. Your vehicle will then be somewhere. It will not be on the road. That is the danger. So you can be overtaken by fatigue, and they all stopped. Okay. Walk also became tired, eyes became tired, ears became tired. But one guy never became tired. Who is this person? Or who is this organ? Means, okay. Ata imam eva na apnot. So this only, this Yama or Mrityu could not overtake or take over. Who is that? Madhyamaha Prana. Prana alone was always functioning. Okay, silently, never ceases to function. Because if prana is not there, you will not wake up. Understand that. Prana is functioning while waking. Prana is functioning in dream. Prana is functioning even in deep sleep. That's why you are able to get up. So prana is the only thing which Mrityu is not able to touch. It's always functioning. So na apnot yaha ayam madhyamaha pranaha. Madhyamaha pranaha means if you go to 1.3, prana upasana is talked about, where prana is said to be in the middle of your mouth. Okay, that's why this prana or mukhya prana we say, correct? Later on we'll see that all the organs are also called prana, because without prana none of the organs can function. Understand? And they all take the identity of the prana like that. Even in 1.3 also, the third brahmana in the first chapter, when prana upasana was talked also, similarly prana was shown as the most exalted there. In fact, that third brahmana is very famous for this asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. We chant that, correct? That is part of the third brahmana here in Brihadaranyaka. Okay. So prana is always functioning. It never gets tired. Therefore, what? All these organs thought, now we should know who this prana is. We all took a vow. We always wanted to do whatever we are supposed to do, but we could not do it. We became tired. But look at this prana. Prana keeps going on and on, like the Duracell advertisement we see, correct? So, what do? We would like to know, or we would like to take the vow which this prana has taken. Okay. Tani Nyatum Dadrire. So now we take a vow that we will know about this prana. Okay. Then what? Ayam vai naha sreshtaha yaha sancharan asancharancha navyathate atho na rishyati hanta asyaiva sarve rupam asamaiti. So this prana, ayam vai, this prana indeed amongst us, naha sreshtaha, he is the most exalted amongst us. Why? Because yaha sancharan asancharancha, whether he is moving or not moving, but prana never na vyathate. Prana never is in pain, let us say, or it never becomes tired, never in pain. Na rishyati, never injured, or it never be uh, killed. It cannot be injured or killed. Therefore, what? Hanta. So now let us asyaiva sarve rupam asama. So now let us all take this form of the prana. We all have to identify with this prana, and we have to get the pranatmatvam like that. Let us assume the form of this prana. Therefore, we can also be like prana, always there. So sarve rupam asama iti ta etasya eva sarve rupam abhavaha or abhavan tasmad etaha etena akhyayante pranaha iti. So therefore what they made this vow, and then they all took the form of this prana. Etasyaiva sarve rupam abhavan. So they became in the form of the prana, means they identified themselves with the prana. They became pranatma. Pranatmatvam they got. They identified themselves as the prana. Therefore what? Therefore only they are all known. Okay, etena akyayante pranaha iti. Therefore all the organs can be called as prana. But the prana which we talk about is called mukhya prana or madhyama prana here. Okay. So all the organs are known as pranaha for this reason only. Okay. Now further what? Tenaha vava tat kulam achakshate yasmin kule bhavati evam veda. The one evam veda, the one who knows this, that all the organs are having this identity with prana as the self, and prana is the one who is not touched by mrityu, who is always functioning. One who knows this means one who does upasana on the prana and all the organs like this. That person's kula, okay, family, clan, will be known by his name only. Tat kulam achakshate. Okay, in whichever kula he is born, his kula or clan will be known by his name. Like that, Upanishad is giving a phala here, upasana phala. Also what? Yavu ha evam vida spardhate. The one who competes or opposes this person who has done this upasana, what will happen to that person? Anushishyati. That person will dry away, means what? If prana is not there, all your organs will shrink, it seems, or it cannot function, correct? It will decay, waste away. Anushishyati. Therefore, and further what? Anushishya ha eva antataha mriyate. Having decayed, that person will die finally. Iti adhyatmam. Again, all this is with reference to the adhyatma prana. So this upasana, it is with reference to the body, individual, the prana which is there in the individual body. Why it is saying iti adhyatma is next it will talk about the deva adi daivika, or with reference to the devatas. So here this is the speciality of prana has been said here. So let us see what Bhashyakara says. Atataha anantaram vratamimamsa upasana karma vicharana ityarthaha. So now what atataha? So thereafter anantaram what? Vratamimamsa. Vratamimamsa means what? Analysis of this resolve or vow. Means Bhashyakara says upasana karma vicharana ityarthaha. With reference to upasana and karma, there is a certain vichara here, analysis. Okay, what is that? Yesham prananam kasya karma vratattvena dharayitavyam iti mimamsa pravartate. Now, here Bhashyakara also uses the word prana. Okay, Yesham prananam, like that he is using it in plural. That means here this word prana refers to all the indriyas. Okay, so all the indriyas have to do what vrata? Initially, their vrata is they will do their own karma, correct? But in that they could not be successful because they were overtaken by tiredness, fatigue. But what is the vrata I have to keep? Dharayitavyam means keeping up the vow or resolve, correct? So what is the vrata I have to keep? What is the vow or resolve I have to keep? That is where the analysis or mimamsa is here. Okay, like that it starts. Mimamsa pravartate. The analysis starts. Amongst all the organs, what should be their resolve? What is the resolve they have to keep? Okay. For that now the story starts. What? Tatra prajapati ha shabdaha kilarthe. So ha means it says traditionally or a long time back like that. So Prajapati, there what Prajapati, Kila Prajaha Srishtva, so having created all these beings, Karmani, Karmani means Bhashyakara says Karnani, Vagadini. So here Karmani means really Karnani. And he gives explanation also. What is that? Karmarthanihi tani iti karmani iti uchyante. Because all the instruments are also for the purpose of doing some karma, some action. Therefore, they themselves are called as karma. This is similar to Etad Jnanam iti proktam. Correct? In 13th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan talks about all this ahimsa, all that, correct? Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshantirarjavam, our value of values. Puja Swamiji also talks. Then finally, what Bhagavan says, Etad Jnanamiti Proktam, he says. All these 20 values are called Jnana. There also, that is a Karana Vyutpatti. Okay? Jnanam, even though Jnanam is there it is actually Jnana Karanam. Similarly, here also Karma, although it is called Karma, they are all really Karana only. Karmarthanihi tani iti karmani iti uchyante sasrije srishtavan. Sasrije means he created srishtavan. Vagadini karnani ityartha. So vag, speech, organ of speech, etc. All these karnas were created by the Prajapati. Then what? After the creation, tani punaha srishtani. So those which were again created, what did they do? Anyonyena itara itaram aspardhanta spardham sangharsham chakruhu. So they amongst themselves they started quarreling, fighting with each other, competing with each other. Sangharsham chakruhu. Sangharsham means doing battle or quarreling or fighting with each other. Then how did they fight? Katham. Okay. Vadishyami eva. So I will tell that. What is that? Swavyaparat vadanat anuparata eva aham syamiti vagvratam dadhre dhritavati. So first what? The organ of speech took a vrata, resolve. What is that? Swavyaparat vadanat. That is my own function or vyapara, which is speaking. From that what? Anuparata eva, without stopping, unceasingly I will be talking. Okay? Without any stop. I will be taking aham syam, I will be doing my activity without any stop. Like that it took a vrata. Vratam dadre dhritavati. So it took upon this vow. Then what? It did not stop with that. It is also boasting. What is it? It's saying, यदि अन्यः अपि मत् समः अस्ति स्वव्यापारात् अनुपरन्तुं शक्तः सः अपि दर्शयतु आत्मनः वीर्यमिति. Okay, so if there is anybody else, okay, now the Vak has taken this vow and it is now egging on others. It says, is there anybody else who is equal to me, who can do his function without stopping? Okay, then come on, show me your power. Okay, Atmanaha Viryam Darshayatu, it says. Okay, like that, it started boasting. Then what? Once it started boasting like that, others will not be behind, correct? So now what? Tatha Drakshyami Ahamiti Chakshuhu. Thereafter what? Eyes came and said, I will be seeing. I will be all the time seeing without any stop. Okay, then what? Shroshyami Ahamiti Shrotram. Ears also came and said, I will be hearing all the time. Okay, एवं अन्यानि कर्माणि करणानि यथा कर्म यत् यस्य कर्म यथा कर्म तानि करणानि. Okay, तानि करणानि. So similarly, all other organs also, with reference to their own action, they took this vow. All of them are now competing. Okay. At this time, what? Mrityuhu marakaha shramaha shramarupi bhutva upayeme sanjagraha. So now what? Mrityu came in the form of shrama, fatigue, tiredness, and then coming in that form what? Upayeme means he grabbed all these people. It's in sanjagraha. He overtook all these organs in the form of fatigue. Katham. how means tani karnani swavyapare pravrittani apnot shrama rupena atmanam darshitavan. So this Mrityu, how did he do this? Means he attained, he gained all these people, all these organs who are engaged in their own activities, okay, in the form of fatigue. He showed them their tired self, okay. Shrama Rupena Atmanam Darshitavan, by going to them and showing their own selves as tired, afflicted with fatigue. And then what? Aptvacha tani avaruddha avarodham kritavan mrityuhu. Avarodham means what? Swakarmabhyaha pratyavitavan ityarthaha. So he inhibited them. I told you, correct? So having obtained all these organs, or having overtook all these organs with fatigue, this mrityu, death, inhibited them, means stopped them from doing their own activities. That's what Swakarmabhyaha Pratyavitavan means, stopped them from doing their own activities. Therefore, what? Tasmad Adyatvepi Vadane Swakarmani Pravrita Vak Shramyati Eva Shramarupina Mrityuna Sanyukta Swakarmataha Pratyavate. So, therefore, what? Even today, the Vag Indriya, which is engaged in speaking, correct? Vadane Swakarmani Pravritta, one who is engaged in speaking, it becomes tired. Vag Shramyati Eva Shramarupina Mrityuna Sanyukta, being connected with this Mrityu, who is in the form of fatigue, the organ of speech becomes tired, and then it stops, okay, from whatever it is doing. Similarly, what? Tata Shramayati Chakshuhu, even eyes also become tired like that. Ears also Shramyati Shrotram. Therefore, what? Atha imameva mukyam pranam na apnot. But this mukhya prana alone, this Mrityu cannot go and take over. He cannot take over. Na praptavan, he cannot even reach this mukhya prana. Mrityu can reach all other organs and then then make them stop doing their work. But Mrityu cannot touch this prana, who is again Mrityu is Shramarupi, correct? In the form of fatigue, Mrityu is not able to touch the prana. And what is that prana? Yo ayam madhyamaha pranaha tam. So this madhyama prana alone, this Mrityu cannot touch. Therefore, what? Tena adhyatvepi ashrantaha eva swakarmani pravartate. So even today, prana alone, without any fatigue, keeps on doing its work. It is engaged in its work all the time without any fatigue, any tiredness. Further, what? Tani itarani karanani tam jnatum dadhrire dhritavanti manaha. So all these other karana, now all these other organs, they wanted to now know. They took a vow that we have to now know this prana. Okay. So there they put their mind into this prana. We want to know this prana. Ayam vainaha asmakam madhye shreshtaha. So this prana alone is most exalted amongst us. Okay, amongst us, prana is the most exalted. Shreshta means what? Prashasya tamaha, most praiseworthy. Abhyadikaha, he is greater than all of us. He is bigger than, he is the big brother. Okay. Yasmat yaha sancharancha asancharancha nam vyatate ataha na rishyati. So even while moving or not moving, this prana is never in pain. It never gets injured. Therefore, what? Hanta idanim asyaiva pranasya sarve vayam rupam asama pranamatmatvena pratipadyemahi. So therefore, what? Now we have to take the form of this prana only. We have to become identified with prana. In our own self, we have to see this prana. pranam atmatvena pratipadyemahi means what? We have to obtain this prana as ourself. We have to identify ourselves with this prana. Like this, they took a vow. Evam vinischitya, having determined like this, okay? Te etasya eva sarve rupam abhavan prana rupam eva atmatvena pratipannaha prana vratam eva dadhrire. So, in having determined like that, all these organs, they took the form of this prana only. Okay, prana rupam abhavan means prana rupam eva atmatvena pratipannaha. So they gained this prana itself as their self. So they identified themselves with the prana by doing this prana vrata. That is the prana vrata. So they took this resolve and then they identified themselves with this prana. Prana vratameva dadhrire. They took up this vow of identifying themselves with prana. Therefore, then what? Asmad vratani na mrityoho varanaya paryaptani iti. Okay, so why did they take this vow? Because already they all have taken another vow, correct? That they will be doing their own functions. But what is the realization they have now? That is not good enough. Na paryaptani. Whatever vows we took already, that we will be doing only our own activity. That is not good enough. If we keep on doing only our activity, this mrityu comes and overtakes us in the form of fatigue. Therefore, now we are taking another vow that we will identify ourselves with this prana because prana only keeps on going all the time. Okay. So, yasmat pranena rupena rupavanti itarani karanani chalanatmana svena cha prakashatmana. So, here Bhashyakara says, so since they have two vows now, correct? One is they are identifying themselves with the prana, they are also doing their own activity. So the chalanatmakam, see, every organ has to be first alive, then only it can function, correct? So being alive means they are identifying with the prana, it seems. But when they are actually functioning, they are identifying with themselves. Means whatever prakashatmana means, all organs are supposed to be revealing something, correct? Particularly the organs of perception, sense organs. So when they are alive, they are taking the form of prana. In fact, all the time they have to be alive, in fact. So they are anyway, they are in the form of prana, and then they are also doing, whenever they are doing their own work, then they are actually doing that whatever is supposed to be done by them, whatever they have to reveal, they are revealing that. So nahi pranad anyatra chalanatmakatva upapattihi. So only prana gives that. So chalanatmakam here means throbbing, you can say, correct? Throbbing of life and all we say. Even in English, the word throb is there. Wherever there is throbbing, wherever there is movement, also you prana alone gives life. Prana alone is the one which is throbbing as life. Then only everything else comes into the picture. Chalana vyapara purvakani eva hi sarvada swavyapareshu lakshyante. So that's what. One's own activity also you can do only when you are alive first. You have to be first alive and then you can do your own activity. Then only it is possible. Tasman yete vagadeyaha yetena pranabhidanena akhyayante abhidiyante prana iti evam. Therefore, what all these organs like speech, etc., since they identify with prana, first they are alive, then only they are doing their activity. Therefore, they are also called prana. Prana abhidanena akhyayante. The word prana can be used for all of them. Okay, pranaha iti evam. In this manner, they can be called as pranaha. Like that, the Upanishad says, rest of the things we'll see next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद जी.